Hi, everybody. Welcome. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Hi, welcome. Love to hear from you in the chat if you'd like to say hello. Also, please notice the hi, Kimberly. Hola, Pablo. Glad you guys are here. Also, please notice I did put a pinned post in the chat for tonight. It's just a reminder to keep the shares focused on the present moment, current sensations in your body, and that keeps our space together safe and focus on the present moment instead of personal trauma stories. So, hi, MS Cat DIS. Hi, Lynette. Hi, Mary. Glad you guys are here. As we give people some time to get logged in, I do want to explain what the fawn response is and why I chose it as this month's focus for March. So many of you might not be familiar with the term fawning, and what it is, it's another nervous system response, just like fight, flight, freeze. There's fawning. And in a nutshell, it means being overly agreeable. And it's a nervous system response we adapted to stay connected to people we love and we depend on. And for many people, this pattern started really early on in life and growing up with an emotionally available home. So I just want to take a few minutes before we start. Hi, Diana. Welcome. Glad you're back. Yes. Hi, guys. Hi, Yolanda. Hi, Brent. Glad you guys are here. So some signs of fawning are difficulty saying no, setting boundaries, abandoning yourself to keep the other person comfortable. You might be hyper attuned to other people's emotions. Feel responsible for other people's moods or emotions. You might feel like your identity is being helpful, kind, and agreeable. Or you might even feel shame or guilt when you're asserting your own needs. So those are all signs of fawning. An anxious attachment kind of falls under that umbrella of fawning. And so this might look like overthinking text messages or waiting for a response, needing lots of reassurance, or feeling a sense of panic when the relationship feels a little distant or disconnected. So I have a question for you guys. You can put your answer in the chat if you want to. When you feel uncertain with a relationship or a connection, what does your body tend to do? Does it tend to reach out? Does it tend to worry? Does it tend to brace something else? And just begin to notice what your body does when you're in that, when you're feeling that disconnection. And tonight is all about noticing, just noticing what's happening, bringing awareness in the body. And again, there's no need to explain the story behind it or why you're feeling it. It's just tonight we're noticing the sensation. Good. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm reading your responses. Restriction in the body. Yeah, pretty much all of that. Panic, anxiety, blaming myself. Keeps looking at the person, checking for signs of disapproval. Yeah, freezing, over explaining, worrying. Yeah. bracing, reaching out. Yeah. So it is 7:05. I'm going to go ahead and get started with my little intro. So those of you that have been with me for a while, just grin and bear it. My name's Natalie. I am a somatic healing and embodiment coach. I'm based in Carmel, Indiana, and I focus on healing developmental trauma through regulating the nervous system and creating safety in the body. Tonight's session is called Healing Anxious Attachment as part of a nervous system response and under the fawning umbrella. A few important things about this space. So this is somatic body-based healing, not talk therapy. This is very slow. I have a very slow pace, and everything is trauma informed, which means I try to say things that aren't triggering. Everything is invitational, which means you have a choice. And if things aren't, if you're not ready for the way I'm guiding or the direction I'm going, you have a choice. You can pause, you can stop, you can take a break. Nothing is forced. This is being recorded, so you can come back later and watch the recording using the same link that got you here. And if this is your first time in a somatic space, you don't need to do anything perfectly. Just being here and listening is enough. There is a worksheet that goes along with tonight. You're welcome to follow along. If you don't have it, it is linked below in the description. So you can click on that. I made it a PDF tonight for the first time, so I'm hoping you guys are able to open it. If not, let me know. I can share it a different way, but hopefully that is opening. Also, might have a notebook nearby. We're going to pause twice tonight. It works. Okay, good. Thank you. We're going to pause twice tonight for journaling and reflection. So you might have a notebook nearby with a pen or a pencil for any thoughts or reflections you may have. And another thing that you might experience tonight is something I call somatic release. And this can be anything from yawning, sighing, tingling sensations in your body, warm sensations, and crying. Those are all very typical. And having said that, that doesn't mean you have to have a release. Nothing can happen, and that's totally fine too. But a lot of times when you start talking and paying attention to the body, it starts to soften and some movement starts happening. So you might notice something and you might not. Okay, so let's go ahead and get settled in. My favorite way to do somatic work is laying down using earbuds. I get really comfortable with a pillow, blanket, but you're welcome to stay seated, whatever works for you. I am going to lean back a little bit. And so let's all get comfortable and relaxed. And if it feels okay, bring your attention to where your body is being supported. Either the chair or the couch or the bed beneath you, or the floor underneath your feet. And just start to notice your breath. Nothing to change. Tonight is all about awareness. We're just bringing awareness to what the body has to say. So let's take a few slow breaths together. Just slowing everything down. And just spending the next hour with our body. And maybe let your body know it doesn't have to do anything in this moment. Now I'll guide you through a gentle body scan. You don't need to feel anything special. And you don't need to relax or fix anything. We're just noticing. And start by bringing your awareness to your feet. And lower legs. Notice if they're heavy or light, relaxed, or just neutral. Anxious attachment often lives higher in the body. So if the lower body feels quiet or distant, that's okay. We're just noticing. And let your awareness slowly move up into your hips and your pelvis. And this area often holds readiness or bracing. Again, no need to analyze, we're just noticing. And bring awareness into your belly. Notice if there's movement, lightness, or fluttering. Maybe holding. And this area often carries anxiety around connection. And let your awareness rise into your chest and your heart area. And just notice how this area feels right now. Maybe you feel some pressure or some warmth, tightness, tenderness, or maybe nothing at all. And gently bring your attention to your shoulders, neck, and jaw. These areas often carry vigilance, effort, or the need to stay alert. And if it feels okay, just imagine they don't have to work quite so hard right now. Maybe not relaxing, just not working so hard. And finally, bring your awareness to your whole body. Notice the overall tone. Is your nervous system alert? Is it searching? Maybe starting to settle, or somewhere in between? And there's no right state to be. An anxious attachment is not a flaw. It's a nervous system that learned to stay connected. So let's take one more slow breath. And let's dive in what anxious attachment is. First of all, anxious attachment is not being too much. It's how the nervous system learned to protect connection. And many people with anxious attachment grew up in environments that were emotionally unavailable, unpredictable, sometimes warm and sometimes distant, loving but avoidant. So the body learned connection can disappear. I need to stay close. I need to watch carefully. And the nervous system adapted by scanning for signs of disconnection, expressing big emotions, reaching, checking, or worrying, staying highly attuned to others. And again, this is not weakness. It's your nervous system shaped by early experiences. If it feels okay, bring to mind a moment when you felt anxious about a relationship or a connection. You're not reliving anything, just noticing what happens now. Before the thoughts, before the story. What does your body do? You might notice tightness in the chest, urgency or pressure, restlessness. Maybe a pull towards the other person. A sinking or fluttering sensation. Just notice where this lives in your body. And if it feels okay, stay with the sensation for a few breaths without trying to change it. And remember, you always have choice. You can pause or shift your attention at any time. And when you're ready, you can come back to the room, open your eyes, maybe feel your feet on the floor. And we have come to journaling number 1. And if you'd like to read the journal questions yourself, you can pull up the worksheet. There is a link below in the description. So the first question is, what does my body tend to do when connection feels uncertain? And then, where is one place in my body that holds anxious attachment? And what are you noticing right now? So we will pause here for 5 minutes and then we'll continue. And you're also welcome to write your answers in the chat if that feels healing for you, or anything about your experience so far. So, lowest of high brows. I don't know your name, sorry. But you're doing an excellent job of answering the reflection questions and noticing where you feel it in your body and describing it, because sometimes that can be very difficult. And thank you for sharing in the chat. So, if you're new to somatic work, lowest of high brows gave a really great example of how to find the sensation in your body and then to try to name it or describe exactly what you're feeling. So, thank you for sharing that. Oh, good, Pablo. Thank you so much. Yeah, sometimes just slowing down and seeing what we notice in our bodies can be really amazing. It's a great way to connect. Okay, so that's 5 minutes. We'll go ahead and move forward. If you want to put your notebook to the side, get comfortable again. Maybe take a deep breath, relax, close your eyes. And for many people, anxious attachment slowly turns into something else. And this is called self-abandonment. Self-abandonment is when the body learns, if I stay available, I won't be left. If I meet their needs, I'll be chosen. If I don't rock the boat, I'll stay connected. And what this can look like over time is overgiving and losing your own center, ignoring your body signals, and prioritizing others' comfort over your own. And this is often when the fawn response begins. So we're going to take a little bit of time here. And if it feels okay, ask your body, What does my body do when I'm afraid of losing connection? What does my body do when I'm afraid of losing connection? And again, we are bringing awareness and we're noticing. Now, gently ask yourself, what would help my body feel just a little bit safer without chasing or abandoning myself? What would help my body feel a little bit safer without chasing or abandoning myself? And when you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes, come back into the room. And we are at journaling and reflection number 2. Again, if you want to read the journal questions, you can open up the worksheet. It is linked below in the description. So you can grab your notebook. First question is, what is one thing I'm beginning to understand about my anxious attachment? Second question, how does my body try to stay connected? And lastly, what is one small way I might stay with myself more? And again, we're going to pause for about 5 minutes so you can journal, reflect. You're welcome to type in the chat if that feels healing. And then we will come back together and move on. So we got about 1 more minute here. And you're welcome to share in the chat. You don't have to. Only if that feels healing for you to share. And you guys are doing a great job staying with the body sensations, staying in the present moment, noticing how your body is feeling. Okay, so let's go ahead and come back together. And I invite you to put one hand on your heart if that feels supportive, or you can put both hands. And let's take a slow breath together. Nice, slow, gentle breath in. And you can sigh it out. And maybe with your eyes closed, notice how your body feels now compared to when we began. Did anything shift? Does anything feel different? Even slightly? And nothing needs to be named. We're just feeling it, just noticing. And I want to thank you all for being here tonight. And just a reminder, if you do resonate with anxious attachment, it doesn't mean that you're needy or you're broken. It means your nervous system learned that connection mattered deeply. And tonight was about awareness and noticing. And for some people, that awareness may feel like enough for now. And for others, it may open up a deeper question of, why do I continuously abandon myself in connection? And if that's true for you, I am offering a small body-based workshop this Sunday, and it's called Healing the Fawn Response from Self-Abandonment to Choice. And in this workshop, we'll meet on Google Meet, and I'll be teaching about the 3 stages of fawning and help you identify your most used fawning patterns. And then I'll introduce some new responses that we can explore and practice together. And you'll find the details at the bottom of the worksheet. And I'll also put the link in the chat if anybody would like to check it out. Would love to have you. And there's absolutely no pressure, just an invitation. And I'm also offering a spring somatic experience for new private clients. And there's more information on that at the bottom of the worksheet as well. And for tonight, this work is complete. I will stay on for a few minutes if anyone has any questions or would like to share more about their experience tonight. And for everyone else, thanks for attending and have a good night. And if you'd like to stay in chat, please keep your shares focused on the experience tonight. I am happy to answer any questions about tonight's session or the workshop or somatic work in general. So I am not a counselor. I am a somatic healing and embodiment coach. So I have a master's degree in positive psychology. I am certified in yoga therapy, and I'm certified in somatic practitioner. Thank you, Kimberly. Thanks for coming. How do you work to retrain your nervous system to not get triggered? Yeah. I wish there was a simple answer to that. I think it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of spending time with your body. My philosophy is creating safety in your body. And once your body feels safe, your body has the ability to heal itself. So, my perspective is to create that safety in the body. And that means spending time with your body. It means working through trauma. Our bodies hold a lot of trauma in our fascia. And the body also knows how to release that once it feels safe. So, something like we did tonight, just slowing down and breathing and noticing the sensations in the body is a great first step. And you might have noticed your body even starting to relax tonight. Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Annette. Let me go back here. Is crying a lot a way my body is trying to continue to stay connected? That is your body releasing. So I encourage you to let your body cry. That's one of the most common ways the body releases tension, stress, trauma, all that stuff that needs to get out. We hold it in, and when we hold that in, and that I'm a huge proponent of fascia, and I'll get into that later on this year. I'm going to do a whole month on fascia, but our fascia holds that. Our fascia is very intelligent, and once your fascia starts releasing, crying is one of the most natural and most common ways. So yeah, and you might notice after you cry, you feel more relaxed. Oh, thank you, Lynette. I'm glad you enjoyed it. What do you suggest an empath, anxious, attached person do during arguments or conflict with it? Yeah. Yeah, I can relate to that. My advice is to slow down, to take a breath, slow it down. When you're a highly sensitive person or an empath, you feel a lot. You feel everything. So, if you don't have a little bit of control and protection over your energy, you can get overwhelmed very quickly. So, I would either prepare for a conversation where you can do an energy hygiene before the conversation. And during the conversation, stay with yourself as most as possible. So maybe even putting your hand on your chest, even sitting back, bringing your energy back, feeling your feet on the floor, taking breaths, and taking breaks when you need to take breaks. Now, if your partner is a narcissist, that's a whole different ball of wax. That's a hard combination to be an empath with a narcissist, and it's very common because the empath wants to make your partner feel good, and the narcissist takes advantage of that. So that's a hard dynamic. I really have a difficult time creating and maintaining boundaries. Do you think the workshop would be beneficial? Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of people have misconceptions about boundaries. So, boundaries are to protect you. And even if this workshop isn't titled Boundaries, I think it can definitely help you start implementing boundaries. Next month is all about using our voice, and that will touch on boundaries as well. But what I was going to say about boundaries, a lot of people think boundaries is making the other person change or stop doing or start doing something, when actually it's us. Like, so a boundary is, for example, let's say when you talk to your mom on the phone, and you're going to set a boundary for yourself. If my mom triggers me or says things that are inappropriate, I'm going to get off the phone. That is a boundary. So you can't change other people. I can't make the mom change or say the right things, but you can get off the phone, if that makes sense. I lost my place in the chat. Where was I? What's 3 ways I can create the conditions and thus invite my body to cry? Well, I wouldn't force it. I wouldn't force your body to do anything it's not ready. You know, your body, again, for me and my perspective, it goes back to feeling safe, slowing down, spending time with your body, and not forcing anything. If your body will absolutely cry when it's ready to cry. So I guess my 3 conditions are to not force it, go slow, and spend time with your body. Thank you, Diana, if you're still here. Glad you came back. Good to see you. How do you create control over your energy? Again, I would do a lot of, if you're a highly sensitive person or an empath, protect your energy before you're around people, before you go into conversations. Doing like an energy hygiene or a meditation. And just remember to stay with yourself, bringing your energy back to yourself. So, in my opinion, a highly sensitive person, an empath, has their energy open. It's very wide open. So, you need to bring that energy back into your body and keep it with you so you don't get overwhelmed. Stephanie, I realize the young girl inside me is crying out to be seen and live just as she is. And in that I have rushed or sacrificed my self-care and personal interest to meet the need. Yeah. Yeah, that's really common in fawning. So again, bringing awareness to that is first step. How did I grow my clientele? Oh, no. Yeah, that's just taking your time, being patient. I can't hold my own boundaries because I feel bad. You feel bad, like you feel guilty? That's pretty common, especially if you're not used to creating boundaries. So I think that awareness is a great first step. And then once you know, like, oh, I feel guilty because I'm creating this boundary, then tell yourself, oh, yeah, this is normal. And that's because I'm not used to doing it. And the more you keep holding your boundaries, the less guilt you're going to feel. Yes, Jenny, thanks for coming. So I do that by, I bring my energy back into my body by doing an energy hygiene. Yeah. Thank you, Stephanie. Oh, thank you, Pablo. Glad you came. So Stephanie says, sorry, just one more. I feel like my nervous system is stuck on alert. How do I begin to switch it off? Yeah. So you might feel like you're stuck on fight or flight or even freeze. What you did tonight is a great first step. Slowing things down, I think, is huge because our society keeps ourselves very, very busy. Like, we are so busy. We're always doing something at any given time. Slowing down. You know what else I think is really huge that I don't think a lot of people talk about is being around safe people or by yourself. But if you are not around someone that is emotionally safe, you cannot get out of the fight or flight because you're still constantly being triggered. I think that is huge. And I know sometimes it's not possible to be have that space. But I know that being around unsafe people, you're going to be in that fight or flight. So I think that's huge. Yeah. Feel safest alone. That's because you're not getting mixed in anybody else's nervous system. Yeah. And actually, being alone is a great way to heal your nervous system. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys. This has been great. Great conversation. Thanks for hanging out. And I hope to see you all in another workshop or meetup. Or if you're interested in doing private sessions with me, please reach out. And y'all take care and have a good night. See you guys.